Good afternoon, guys. This is Anand here with me, Pravish. We are trainer for Citrix, so we will be taking care of entire training course. So it will take time around 2 months. So our target is within 2 months we need to complete this course. After that, uh, we will be taking care of entire like one-on-one mock session, interview session, resume preparation, each and everything. So coming back to our like institute, KT Skill. We are having different technology, like so many technologies are there, 8 to 10 technologies, like hard technology also, developments, tastings, Citrix, VMware, AI, machine learning, Python. So many courses are there. You can visit our like website ktskills.com. And for our training, Citrix desktop and app application virtualization, you can come to our website. And if you are okay with the demo session, introduction or overview with this KT skills Citrix technology, you can come to our website and go to and register. So coming to our like KT skills, so uh, we are having a very good amount of like trainer. So we will be delivering each and every technology like as we told, like we are having a different technology. We will be taking care of labs, projects, each and everything what we have told you like previous. So coming back to the Citrix virtualization. So today's topic, we will be covering GenApp overview, Gen Desktop, different flavors. Then we will tell you like how this log on screens, how the users is log into the Citrix, how they are using the applications, and what are the things happening in the background. After that, as per the administrative part, like as a Citrix engineer, what is your roles, responsibility, how you are going to take care of like consoles. So we will show you how the console looks like. After that, AD authentications, day-to-day activity, what as a Citrix engineer, we are just taking care. Level of support, like every infrastructure we are having like junior to senior level. So we will be telling you like which level support are doing like which task. Okay. So with Citrix, we will be taking care of PVS overview, NetScaler, and the main thing like ITIL standard terminology. So this is our agenda of this today's meeting. So coming to Citrix, first thing comes to our minds, what is virtualization? So here you can see the simple picture of virtualization, see how it looks like. So we can see like it's a process uses a single physical machine hardware to run with the multiple VMs within it. Means we don't need to install each and every VMs like operating system. One machine, that physical machine is there. So on top of that, like everything, it is mapped to the one machine. Or we can in the simple term, we can say like virtualization is nothing, but it's not an actual. There are two terms. One is physical, one is virtual. Virtual is not an actual. Okay. So it can be a virtual computer hardware, or like so many types of virtualization is there. Like we will tell you once the course will start. So a small overview, I can uh, tell you about like there are 5 types of virtualization. Like one is desktop virtualization, second is application virtualization, third is server virtualization, fourth is storage virtualization, and fifth is network virtualization. So this type of virtualization, we will explain you each and everything. So once the course will start, so each and everything we will tell you the types of virtualization, how it is going to take care. So coming to our course, why Citrix is important and why you wanted to grab this course. So as we know, like due to this pandemic, everybody is starting their jobs from work from home in this lockdown situation. So market demand is very high. This is the market leader, and we can say like it's the highest share of 53% of remote assistance. And Citrix is highly secure and provide the seamless experience, enhanced Most the banking client prefer Citrix over the other competitor. Citrix infrastructure can be easily implemented over with any of the cloud technology. So this is the overview of Citrix. So why Citrix? So we have already told you, like, this is the uh, simple technology. Anybody can come and learn this, whether it's a technical or non-technical background. We don't uh, need a hardcore like technical people here to learn, because there is no coding required when you are going to register with this course. So just leave it up to us. We will tell you each and everything step by step, how to learn, how to implement this. So coming to the history behind the Citrix. So when it is invented, who is invented, why the Citrix is launched, what is the first name, how the uh, logo looks like. So Citrix was originally named as a citrus. Citrus is nothing but it looks like orange. So white comes like it is originated from citrus, and because in Florida that time orange was very popular. So this is the logo. See here, citrus. So it looks like a orange. Started in 1989. Who has founded this? So at Bucci is the founder of Citrix 1989. Headquarter is Texas, and he was an IBM developer. So he done this. So first technology with the Citrix is multi-vine technology, later the license, and so many flavors it comes after that. So coming to the Citrix perspective, I'll tell you how the login screen looks like. Each and everything I'll tell you here. See here, this is screen. This is the simple logon screen. How user is accessing our like applications. So this type of screen like might be the different infrastructure. You can uh, see the different logon screen, but the process like how to put the credential, like after credential, like how it happens, where it goes. So first thing like receiver is important. I'll tell you what receiver works, why it happened, why it is important. So each and everything we will explain you. Here in the logon screen, once the credential goes here, like we are able to just enter the user ID and password. It goes to here. Like what are the things in the background? How it happens? Because Citrix does not like computer does not know our language, in English or any other language. He only understands 010101 like format. So here I'm going to explain you how it happened, like where we wanted to hit as a user perspective, how they use the applications, each and everything. Like once the credential, you are just trying to enter the user ID and password, it hits to the web browser. Then so many things in the backgrounds. We will tell you how it happens. Like what are the things it goes. Okay, so once user is able to log in, they are able to see the applications. So in the background, like backend user is part of some separate group. Like if I use any other application, user needs to add it in the particular security group. So that's what they are able to see the only that application. So we are having we can authenticate to those users to access to that applications. So this time you can take the perspective. Uh, as I told you, it's a very easy language, technology anywhere, uh, any workspace, like through mobile also you can like access their applications from the app center, Play Store. You can just search the receiver or compatible version through iOS or like Windows also. So you can able to access any of the applications. So this is the complete infrastructure here. See any device, any connection, anywhere. So this is the powerful technology. So from you are authenticate user. So here you can understand here like thousands of PCs, Macs, on time, 150 different smartphones. So these are the things like here see how powerful the Citrix is. So coming to GenApp, GenApp is a flavor of Citrix. GenApp and GenDesktop is the mostly Citrix market like 50 to 60% they are taking the market. Uh, Whoever is having that Citrix technology, they must have the GenApp or GenDesktop. Now they have changed their name like virtual desktop and applications. So Gen is nothing but Gen is virtual. Gen means virtual, app means application. So virtual applications. Gen desktop means virtual desktop. So like that. We have already explained you like that there are 5 types of virtualization is there. So coming to this technology, GenApp, how and when it found, what is the first version? So we have already told you like what is the first version, multi-user, WinView, WinFrame, MetaFrame, presentation server, GenApp, and GenDesktop. So till 2014 is GenDesktop 7.6. First version is GenApp 5.0. Previous also it was a presentation server. And right now the current version is 7.19 LTSR. LTSR is nothing but it's a long-term service release. So here is the history of this, when it happened, like what is the first version, and coming to the current version is 7.19 LTSR. Generally, Citrix does every year like 2 to 3 times it revises. First they launch the application like the current version, then they are doing some modifications, some glitch was there. So they just put it into long-term service release. Long-term service release it means like we can go with this application, we can go with this technology at least 2 to 3 years, 5 years. So that is a long-term service release. So coming to the GenDesktop history, as I told you, GenDesktop is nothing but Gen means virtual and desktop, virtual desktop. So first version came here in 2008, then 2009 it was 2.0, then 3.0. So these are the versions of GenDesktop. Now, as I explained you, like it's a 7.19 LTSR. Uh, so currently in market, like everybody is trying to migrate and update their infrastructure to 7.19. So these are the history, like when it started 2008 to 2014 and now 2020, it is 7.19 LTSR. Coming to GenDesktop architecture. So we will be learning here like what are the things going in the backend, why it is important, and which steps we need to take a follow. Uh, so in desktop architecture here, like so many components are there. Components is nothing but like terminology. Like here, so the receiver, storefront, NetScaler, SQL database, director, studio. So many terminology is there. Uh, so once the user enters the user ID and password, it goes to the receiver. Receiver is very mandatory. Like user needs to install their machine. So for the security purpose, we will be using here NetScaler Gateway. Some of the infrastructure they are using NetScaler, some of them not. Not for the internal and external, if we required. So this is NetScaler is very important. We will tell you like what is the difference between previous version and the current version also, like previous 6.x. We will be using their web interface, and 6.5 onwards, we will be here using the storefront. So once the user is entered their credential, so it will hit to the storefront. And controller is the backbone of any infrastructure, like for the Citrix. Controller is very mandatory. So first we need to install controller. Then we need to install the SQL database. After that, license is required. So controller part is nothing but it allows user to check all those stuff from the database and make it available for the user application desktop, each and everything, like it acts as a like administrator. So this is the controller. So once the controller installed, you need to install the SQL database. So why it happened, like Once the user enters their credential, it is to the storefront. It goes to the controller. Controller check all those information, like user is having their like particular, he was the part of any particular group from the SQL database or any other database. Here I'm just for the reference purpose, I'm just giving you here SQL database. So it checks the information from the database. It checks the particular license is there for this user or not. So we will tell you the types of license and all, user, device, per user, per device, and concurrent license. Each and everything we will tell you like step by step. Director here, it is nothing but it controls for the monitoring purpose, troubleshooting purpose, director is used. Studio is nothing but it's a console, like in Genap, their app center here in studio, each and everything like it consists the information of forms, server, policies, each and everything. Like this is the work of studio. So this is the normal architecture diagram of Gen Desktop, how it works. Once the course will
Yeah,
start,
Anand.
we'll tell you when. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
please.
Kishan, I have one question. Like, can you please explain how authentication happens in Zen Desktop,
Mhm.
user authentication? Because I cannot see here
Mhm.
how authentication will happen.
This
Uh,
is the general diagram. This is the general diagram. When we will be taking care of we will show you the authentication. See here, storefront. It goes to the information to the controller. It it takes to the Active Directory should be here, like in this one. Are you able to see my control cursor?
yeah, I can.
See,
Yeah.
so this is the normal diagram which shows you like how the process happened in the background. So your question is
Oh,
how the authentication happened. So
yeah.
authentication, it will taken care by the AD. So AD, Active Directory, should be here. So controller only checks all those information like from the SQL database, from the Active Directory, from the license server, each and everything. Like this is the backbone of entire like Citrix desktop features. So it check all
Okay.
those information. Huh. And they just encrypted their information, then send this to the Active Directory. They check the information and then send back to the storefront. Then user is able to log in. So got it?
Okay. Yeah. Got it. Thanks.
Okay. So GenApp 6.5, how the logon screen is looks like. So this is the pictorial representation. Like there are several logon process like in 6.5 that logon screen is different, 7.x logon screen is different. Generally, I'll tell you the overview how it happened. Like user trying to enter the credential here. Then if it is a part of all those applications, he is able to see all those applications. If you're trying to click this application, so that is called a launching process. Okay, that is called a launching process. There are two things: enumeration and launching. Enumeration is nothing but they verify like user is able to log in and they are able to see the application. Launching is nothing but once they are verified user that is authenticated. After that, once user is able to click, so it is launching, and the receiver is important for this. So once the application is launched, so it looks like this one. So this is general overview how it happened in the back. So as I told you, like C.X, logon is and Gen Desktop 7.x or Gen App 7.x is different. So here is a Citrix gateway or it's a storefront. There it 6.x it was hit in the web interface. I'll tell you the difference also in features. So the same thing, once user is verified, they are able to see the desktop applications or anything. So these are the process how it launches when it clicks. So the application is launching perfectly. Coming to the console is nothing but it's a management console, which is generally uh, administration. If you are a Citrix administrator or Citrix engineer, So this console, we are not giving access for the users because this is for the troubleshooting purpose. This is for the like any changes required, anything like monitoring purpose, each and everything. Like from console only, you are able to control each and everything. See, this is 7.x control. Like this is the studio. So this is 6.5 console app center. So like this is the access management console. This is delivery services console. So these are the various types of console, which is only using by the Citrix administrator. Coming to the day-to-day activity as a Citrix engineer. So this is the very important questions. Once you are trying to just giving the interview, first question is this one: what is the day-to-day activity, or as a Citrix engineer, what you are handling? So as a Citrix engineer, we will be taking care of like entire checklist, health checks report, whether it's manually or script. So based on the infrastructure, we will be having like PowerShell scripts also. We will just run there, or sometimes like we can set the timings also. So every day some particular times that script is automatically run. Sometimes we have to verify the checks manually, like some loads, like server says right run or not, like like what to do, what not to do. So these are the basic steps as a Citrix engineer they are doing. So we need to check all those like applications. Basically, we need to take care of the like critical options. So each and everything we need to check it out here, like published, like application is published or not, particular. If any request can come, so we need to follow the certain steps. First, we need to raise the service request. Then we need to contact with the change management, create the change, approve this, and finally implement or just install the application or publish the application. Talking about the day-to-day activity, how Citrix engineer is working as a admin in the infrastructure. Like as I explained you, like what are the daily checklists they need to take care, what are the things they need to uh, taking care of the applications, publishing applications, like test the credentials and all. So priority wise tickets, so based on the experience level, so they will be taking care of the like what are the priorities, P1, P2, P3, P4. My colleague Pravish will explain you once the entire like demo will over. So daily, weekly reports also we need to fetch from the H site. H site is also technology, like we will be uh, telling you for one class or two class, like how to fetch the applications from the H site, and how to send the reports to our manager or to our PS. Like we will be taking care of entire like incident, problem, tickets, service request, change. So any new applications request comes up. So what are the things? What are the steps we need to take care? First, we need to raise the service request. Then we need to open the change, verify the change from the change board, change management team. Once it's verified, then only we are just install the applications, publishing the application, any new request. So it is nothing like once user is requesting via email, sir, I need this installation ASAP. No, this is not the process for what we are following. So we need to as per the standard what we are following. So that's what we need to raise the request. Then only we need to raise the open. We need to open the change. So each and everything we will tell you for the corporate purpose what we are following. We need to taking care of like applications, license servers, like any additional server if any request comes up. So for any request, we need to follow the steps. If it is a request, we need to understand what is the uh, uh, like difference between incident, request, problem, change. So request is nothing but the person or the client is asking something you to uh, put it into environment. Like it may be a request with the new server add into the form. It may be the new request with the any applications. It may be the request of the any upgrading of the application. So each and everything we need to taking care of like step by step follow the things, certain things. Being a Citrix engineer, like incident, change, problem, uh, we need to take care of things. So as a Citrix engineer, we are we need a different technology also, like PVS, NetScaler, and Windows. Some basic background also required, and and the base part is like ITIL. So my colleague Pravesh will explain you here, like apart from like Genap, Desktop, like other technology also required. So once the complete package, we will be having a knowledge, then only we can deliver. Like uh, we have to be confident and we have to deliver the interview. So Pravesh, are you there?
Hi Anand. Hi everyone. Good afternoon. Myself Pravish. I will be taking care of Citrix part along with Anand. And why I am insisting on learning this technology, especially for fresher or those who wanted to get into the IT without having most of the IT background, like maybe like BTech or MTech or any specialized IT degree, because in this field you are not required to be having a technical degree, so that is an added advantage. Other thing is, in this technology just takes 5 to 6 months for a normal person to be to the level of providing the support. So that is a very main I can say a catching point. Like if as a fresher, if you don't have a job and you come to know a technology that is having gives you uh, like a job in IT in 5 to 6 months, that is a boon to be precise.
Sorry to interrupt you, Pravish. So you are, can I make you as a host or Anand can help you on this?
Yeah, Anand will help me on this
Okay.
by presenting slide. Yeah,
All
thank you,
right.
Sandeep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so with what just now Anand covered, the basics of Citrix, like different flavors of Citrix and different versions of Citrix. With that, as Anand was also telling, like we need to have additional technology that as an engineer you are expected, as a Citrix engineer you are expected to provide that support. So like one of them is PVS. PVS is provisioning services. So, like provisioning services is like a streaming technology. So what happened is, like I'll just give an example to make it simplify, and then I'll go in depth. So what happens is, like if you are managing infrastructure of let's say 1,000 or 10,000 VDIs, that is virtual disk, or let's say physical computer. So to have that patch and to be having it to enterprise level, like all security patch and antivirus patch, everything, and Windows patch, everything to be up to date, you need so many system administrator who needs to physically go or pushed via some tool to keep it to enterprise level. So that problem that was there in the market, that was essentially solved by this provisioning services. So in this provisioning services, what happens is we have an image. That image we install everything which is there, and then we just stream it to different virtual machine or physical machine or a server desktop or any endpoint. So we can say as an endpoint, any endpoint you can just deploy it, and once after restart, that has all the latest version. So that is an added advantage in terms of, for administrator, for infrastructure. It gives you a very easy way of doing things, like at a click of a button you are able to do patch thousands of servers or VDIs. So this is an advantage. So the previous PVS is a tool of a Citrix. So because we are mostly here dealing with the Citrix other technologies like Zenap and Zen Desktop, so they are mostly using provisioning services in the background to solve the problem which I earlier mentioned. So for patching purposes, they are using PVS. With that, we also have machine creation services, which has recent years, like after 7x version, they have introduced this MCS, that is machine creation services, that comes along with the Zen desktop licenses. So you have an option over there, but mostly in enterprise level infrastructure, they are mostly using provisioning services. So we will we will make you understand how it works, how the logon process is, why it is used, how it is streamed, how you patch it, how you create image, how you target create a master image and how you create a master target device, a device which will be used for streaming. So all these things we will cover while covering the PVS overview. Anand, if you can go on the next slide, please. Anand, you there?
Yes, Pravesh, 1 second.
Anand, you there?
Yes, yes, Pravesh, 1 second.
Yeah, please go to next. Jija ji ka. Yeah.
Yes, Pravesh,
So
go ahead.
yeah, so this is how the provisioning services console looks like. This is the console where an administrator performs all his duty to patch an environment and create an image. And so it has at the top of everything is a farm. Farm is collection of servers. Below the farm, it comes the site. So like one farm can have multiple sites. Like let's say we have a farm in a particular data center, and then we have different sites allocated to that. Then we have servers. All the servers will be found in this. VDisk pool is like all the VDisk will be available in the VDisk pool tab, and we have device collection which will have all the endpoints, and the view is for the administrator to customize how he wants to get the look and feel of, and the host will have the number of hosts, total hosts, like EXSI host. So this every tab and how this provision process happens will tell you in detail once you enroll to the classes. Anand, can you please go to the next slide, please? Yes. So the next thing is Windows Server concept. Now, because mostly as an administrator, you will be dealing with the Windows-based servers, because Citrix mostly works on Windows servers. So Windows server, like we have, everyone will be aware of a normal Windows operation, how it works. But as an administrator, Citrix administrator, you need to have understanding of Windows also, like what is the difference between normal operating system and a server operating system. Like normal operating system is like single point client operating system, but a Windows server operating system is a like network operating system. So what I mean to say by network operating system, like if you have lots of systems that are interconnected and can communicate between each other, that is a not network operating system. So for that purposes, Windows Server is being used. So like Windows normal desktop OS is required to receive services, and if you want to provide any services, so you need to have Windows Server OS, and that Windows Server is very secure. So that's why that is being used. So and we can, the most advantageous part is with Windows Server you can assign different roles. What I mean to say is roles, like if you want to make a system as a domain collector. Domain collector is like by heart of the Active Directory. What is Active Directory? I'll come in that in a second. So it is a like core component. Like let's say it is a main component of a virtual system, like Active Directory system. So you can integrate it with Active Directory. All this is possible only if you have Windows Server. So you need, as Citrix admin, you need to understand how Windows Server works and how in the background, and you need to understand how you have to join to domain, how you have to manage, like how to go to computer management and increase the storage. If you want to space, if you want to how to clear cache, how to create temp profile, how to create environment variable. So there are so many things which is required for a system administrator, how to create registry, how to import an registry. There are so many things like basic Windows level knowledge, which we will be covering in short duration, 2 to 3 classes. But we will make sure that you are aware of that, because as Citrix admin, you are also required to have that knowledge. So Anand, if you can go to the next page.
Yeah, hello Pravish.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kishan this side. I have one question. Can we also patch like persistent VDIs using the PVS?
Persistent VDIs using PVS, we can actually, yes, we can do. Why not?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
yeah. So next is the Active Directory. So as I said, like Active Directory is the heart of any infrastructure, not only Citrix infrastructure, any infrastructure. This is like all the email client services that is through Exchange, or in Active Directory, everything is created and treated to be as an object. So like in an environment, if you have a printer, if you have a application, or you have users, everything is object. So Active Directory gives you a centralized location to process everything, so that you can manage it as an administrator. So why Active Directory is required for a Citrix guy? Because as I said, Citrix is also network operated, has multiple endpoint, and they need to communicate either with the centralized infrastructure, what Anand was telling, like delivery controller, or they need to communicate with each other if required. So in any cases, they are network connected, and to manage and to have a control over that, we need to have an Active Directory that is achieved through.
Parvish, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Kisan asked one question regarding the persistent things. Okay, so persistent VDI is not a part of PBS provisioning. Okay, so whenever you are
No, no, no.
doing patching,
That is not a correct information. Persistent PVS based PVDIs can be a persistent VDIs. If you are saying static VDIs, right? This does not change. That can be happening and that can be done.
no, means how the PBS, because whenever you will do patching from the PBS, we can
So
always do
that is saved.
non-persistent.
No. What happens is, if you create a profile and you have everything, all those temp, desktop, everything there in the profile instead of the image, then it can be done, right?
So did you get a chance to do that, this provisioning, like,
Yes, yes.
persistent
In the
VDI?
State Street, yes. In the State Street, we are doing, right. We have PVP based. What you are training PRI is a persistent. I agree, but PVP also we have. PVP is also persistent VDI. Persistent means which will again change the same thing. That is what the persistent means. Static persistent.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, Anand, can you please present? Yeah, thank you. So the next, so that's what we'll have a Active Directory is required. So next is the NetScaler. So NetScaler is a like ADC VPN appliances. So if I have to make you imagine just a server box which has having very high compute and high resources, and it can perform different functions based on the requirement. But mostly for a Citrix engineer, you need to know only NetScaler secure gateway part. Like earlier, it was called Access Secure Gateway, but it is now advanced and it is now called NetScaler Secure Gateway. So in this, as earlier first diagram Anand was showing, so this we have this NetScaler gateway that can either be placed in front of firewall or after the firewall. When I say in front of firewall, means we want NetScaler for security purposes. We don't want like of infrastructure, as Anand was explaining. Citrix is used for a person, any device, anywhere, any network. That is the main concept of Citrix. So we want any network user should be able to reach to the Citrix. Because of this, there could be a security breach. So for that purposes, Citrix NetScaler, the appliances that is used, it can be placed in the front of firewall of your infrastructure or back of the firewall based on your architectural diagram. So you can place it anywhere. So what happens is, once you have this appliance in the ready in your infrastructure, the security increases, and the users have two options: either to use direct the external or internal link to access the infrastructure. In both the cases, they will be getting the same resources. So we will be going to give you overview of how NetScaler works, how you implement policies, how you upgrade NetScaler infrastructure, what are how you create like a certificate pair and create certificate binding with a storefront. There are so many things, but we will be taking 2 to 3 classes to make sure that you understand how NetScaler works and how NetScaler for a Citrix engineer, what are things are required. But as of now, if you talk about like availability, NetScaler provides 99.9% availability. So normally issues related to Citrix, NetScaler does not appear. Yes, Anand, can you please go to next slide? Yeah. So after this, covering this ITIL methodology. So to go into any enterprise level company, they have a certain standard process, like that is uniform through IT. Any company you work, they will have this process. This process is universally accepted and used, so that inter-company communication, inter-team communication, everything can be streamlined. So there is no terminology or any other differences. So to unify this, there are certain libraries that is being used. That library is called ITIL. So we'll tell you about those, like what is change management, how is incident management, what is problem management, what is a problem ticket, what is problem record. So there's so many terms there available that as a Citrix engineer or as an infrastructure guy, you should be able to understand and get it through. So the ITIL process, like this, as a concept, this process, at the heart of this, we have like service transaction, service design, and service operation. So what happens is, first any service is designed, then there's a transition that is done, and then it goes to the operation phase where day-to-day activities happen. On top of that, there is a continuous improvement. So improvement, let's say as of now you are working with 4 servers, but after some time you see that there are less number of users which we can manage with 3 servers. So you have to provide customer that we can work with 3 servers, or to reduce licenses, or to increase enhance security. So anyways, you have to provide continuous improvement to the client from the past experience what they are having. So that is a part of ITIL process, and on basis of that, knowledge skills improves. So as I earlier also I mentioned how ITIL helps a business. It reduces the IT cost. It improves the services through best processes. It provides standard guidance, improves productivity, improves use of skill and experiences, and any third party specification is through delivery also help through ITIL process. Yeah, Anand, can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah, in this slide, we are precisely discussing on the priorities of tickets. So like we have based on the like criticality of a user, we are like having critic with based on the criticality as well as impact. We have this priority defined. So this priority matrix is like P1, P2, P3, P4. So you, as a Citrix engineer, if you see a P1 ticket, you should be able to understand this is high priority and you have to act on that as a first phase. So there are certain, like how to join a CAB call, and how to represent your for changes, if there is an emergency change, how to represent, or like based on that, there are 4 priorities that define, and this priorities also depends. This is for incident management. Same goes for the change management also. Based on the criticality of the infrastructure, you have the change criticality as well defined over. Highly critical change, or whether it is normal change, like that. So we'll explain you these all terminology, and we will tell you what is a SLA, like, and what is this SLA is a defined metrics in time in which we have to complete an operation. Like what is response time, what is resolution time. So there are certain terminology as a engineer, Citrix engineer, you should understand. And so we will practically show you the live environment, how it happens. That will be really good for you. So next slide, please. So here I have given you just an overview of a different ticketing tool. So because we are not sure which infrastructure we will working on, so based on infrastructure, there will be different ticketing tools. So we will help you familiarize with these, like how to create a new ticket, how to create a change, how to all those things, how to implement a change, how to move from one phase to another phase, all those things in different ticketing tools will give you an overview, so that once you enter into company, you don't have that problem. Yeah. Next slide, please. So yeah, so at the end of this, I'll just want to conclude what we learned today. So at the beginning of the session, like we have this like what is the use of Windows and Active Directory, like what is we understood about how the Citrix invented and how the current processes are and how the what are the current products which are available, and you saw different consoles which are now available in the Citrix. You saw logons to from end user perspective how a logons screen looks like, and then you try to understand about Windows servers and Active Directory and provisioning services, NetScaler, and ITIL process. So this was overview. Once you enroll to this course, we'll make sure that we make sure and we promise you to deliver and help you to do a transaction from a normal person without having much IT background to be in some good IT company. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Pravesh.
So thank you, Anand and Pravesh, for the nice session. Do you guys have any questions?